Speak About It.
Hello and welcome to Speak About It, the very first episode of Speak About It. Myself, Emmanuel Speaks, spoken word poet, storyteller. And over the next 4 weeks, with the help of Mixtape Madness, I am going to be bringing you some very special episodes along with some very special guests, people who I believe are doing very well in their fields, namely music, spoken word and film. We're really going to be dissecting their journey. And on one side of the coin, for those of you at home who have an ambition to get into the multimedia industry, so insight into these fields and the mentality it takes to do well in these fields and the attitudes and kind of, like I said, the experiences. And on the other side of the coin for these people, it's a platform for them to come and tell their stories, really shed some insight, shed some light into what it is that they've been through and what inspires them and how they've been able to build what they've built. So without further ado, we're gonna get into the very first episode featuring my guy, Nathan Hector, music host, and also a very, very talented actor. Let's get it.
Cool, so yeah, Nate, tell us a bit about you, what you do, what don't you do? You know, like that.
So basically, I grew up in Chingford, in East London. I went to Chingford Foundation School, which is like 5 minutes from where I've always lived. I was never an academic kid, man. Like, never. I wasn't the kid that would sit down and like do exams, or I just wasn't in it. But when drama came in year 9, I said, yeah, this is a bit of me. Do you know what I mean? So I was always like, I was always an actor, I was always performing, but I didn't tell myself, yeah, you're going to be in the entertainment industry when you're older, you know? So I left school with like really, really bad GCSEs, and that was due to my lack of caring, I guess. And that is a note to all the kids out there. Do your homework, revise for your exams. Yeah, man. Not everyone gets to kind of choose what they want to do and actually go out and do it, you know. But luckily, like I've been blessed to kind of have a work ethic, and some type of drive, and a lot of people around me that's pushed me to get to where I am, you know. So I left school with like really poor GCSEs, and then I think my highest grade was in drama. Yeah. And I kind of said something that kind of spoke volumes to me. I said, you know, I need to
gave you your direction.
Yeah, I need to kind of take this drama thing somewhere. So I ended up in Chicken Shed Theatre in North London. I studied for
Chicken Shed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a theatre that started in the Chicken Shed. Literally,
that's mad.
Like 40 years ago or something.
Where they based?
Cockfosters in North London.
Yeah.
My mum found it for me actually. Yeah. She's like, you either go college, you get a full-time job. And I said, nah. I'm not getting a full-time job. Fuck that. I want to go to college and do this performing arts thing. So I ended up in Chicken Shed Theatre from 16 to 18. Whilst I was there, I was a runner on a lot of like short movies, music videos. So I was a T-boy basically. I went from being a T-boy to an extra. I was an extra in EastEnders, 4321, directed by Noel Clarke. I was in Shank. I was in like loads of different music videos just as an extra, and then I signed up to starnow.com, which is like a casting website whilst I was in college. I was about, say, 16, 17, and I used to apply to like loads of little short films and music videos. And then the summer of 2008 or 9, I checked my Star Now, and I got a message from a guy called Emil Thompson, and he wanted to meet me about a series, like a project. I didn't really know what it was, but it looked good. So I went down to Walthamstow McDonald's in the ends, and I met this guy. I just remember it being really, really cold. I think it was like a random Wednesday or Thursday night, and I was 17, turning 18 at the time, so I was still in college. And we sat down. He was like, yeah, man, I'm doing this project called No ID. I want you to play this character called Labels. It's going to be really sick. I'm like, yeah. So I didn't have a clue about the industry. I didn't have no clue about acting. I didn't know about any of it. I'm not going to lie. I just stood up mate, I stood up on the chair. I said, yeah, I can fucking do that. I'm in. Do you know what I mean? And I sat back down with my cheeseburger. I said, where's this going? It's going on TV. And he was like, no, it's on YouTube. And in my head I'm thinking, this guy did not just make me get on a bus to tell, because YouTube wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
You know, I said to myself, "There's no way this guy just made me travel all this way to tell me about YouTube. There's no way in hell, bro." We done the first series. It got 100,000 views each episode.
Mental.
I'd never seen anything like it.
Mental.
You know, and I played that character from the age of 17, 18 till about 20, 21. And whilst I was doing that, I was still in college, you know, so everyone in college had kind of come across this series, and it was, when No ID came out, that was at a time where funky house was popping. There was none of this Afro swing stuff. There was no, like, drill music. It was all funky house, and like, it was a great time. Like, No ID was when we used to call the party Shubs, you know? That's how far back it was. I was like 09, 010 times. And I remember just going to different parts of London. Like, I spent a lot of time in Kingston, Fulton Heath, a lot of time in South London. I was spent filming No ID. We went Hatfield a couple times. So that was the most enjoyable thing for me. I didn't care about the P's as much. I cared about the travelling and these were the first times that I'd gone to any of these places, you know. So those long night bus journeys home, I'm just thinking, you know, this is sick, you know. Like, not many young people can say they're doing this, like involving themselves in projects and keeping out of trouble and managing to go viral. Like, at that time,
doing what they love.
The only other two series that was out at the time was Mandem on the Wall and Circle of Revenge. You know, so there was only three of us. There was only 3 series that was doing that at that time.
Okay, so like, I'm gonna stop you there, because obviously since then you've done quite a lot. But one thing that strikes me, obviously listening to that, is the fact that you had this passion to go out and just travel and go to new places. And one thing that stands out about you, that stands out about you, no matter who I talk to about you, is the fact that your network is strong. Do you know what I mean? Like, the amount of people that know who Nathan Hector is, whether it's for the hosting or whether it's for the acting or whether it's for whatever it is that you may be doing, or whatever ventures you might be, or projects you might be doing at the time, is that your network is strong. You're able to position yourself in the right places with the right people and talk to the right people and all that sort of stuff. So is that something that you felt that you had to grow or learn? Is it something which is more natural?
I'm an only child, innit? So I've always been I love my own space, but I've always been an open book. Like, from young, I've been like that. Before I was in the industry, or before I was in this thing called the industry, whatever you want to call it, I've always been like that. So, like, holidays, parties, walking up and down Oxford Street with my mum, anywhere I would go, I'd make friends. Like, from young, I've been like that. From as young as I can remember, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, we would go somewhere and I'd leave with a friend's number, or my mum would end up talking to someone else's mum because me and that person had made friends. And I've just always been had that confidence about me. It's not, I'm in the industry now I can network, you know what I mean? I've just always been like that. So it's never been hard for me to kind of navigate into different circles, or it's just something that's.
But I guess, like, for some people it doesn't come so naturally. For some people it's a bit more reserved, a bit more, and they know that networking and talking to people is something that they have to do, but because it doesn't come naturally, they don't even know how to go about it. So obviously you've got the experience in doing it. So is there any advice that you give to anyone who is in that position and knows they have to do it, but naturally it's not innate in them?
Just be cautious of how you move around people. Obviously, I've learned along the way, not everyone's gonna take to my excitementness, how, if that's even a word. Like, I'm a very excited person. I'm very outgoing, and some people are just more reserved, and some people don't know how to take that, and I've had to learn that over time, and that's fine, you know. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop just being me because that person feels away. Like, if you feel away, that's your business, and I feel like that's the way you gotta move in life. Like, not everyone's gonna take to you, not everyone's gonna like you, but at least if you know that you've tried and you bring yourself throughout, then I can't see no wrongdoing, you know. And don't take no for an answer, but don't force it.
And one thing that I noticed as well is the fact that you highlighted that you want to get into acting. But you started off just being a runner. You started off just being on set, around the right places.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to be around that environment, you know. And I wasn't prepared to just sit at home whilst someone else is going to take the opportunity. So why not put myself in that space and just keep putting myself in those kind of spaces and just navigate around who I needed to navigate around, you know? Because no one else is going to do it for me. And I learned that from the age of 14, 15. If I'm going to do this, there's no mum or nan to
hold your hand.
To hold my hand and be like, oh yeah, let's take him to set. Nah, I got to make those trips myself. And from the age of 16, I was making those trips myself. Like even the age of 16, 17, I was promoting in West End, doing street promoting and making my little bit of money. So
even though you couldn't get in the club.
So I would go to places like Stanza. This is how I met Kenny Allstar actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've known Kenny since we was 17.
Okay.
Not a lot of people know that, but big up Kenny. But yeah, I used to promote in a club called Stanza. This is how I met Harvey from So Solid. This is how I met the twins from So Solid. This is how I met Mega Man from So Solid. All these guys have known me since I was a kid. Since I was from a young age, I used to do like street promoting, club promoting. So I was basically a street promoter. And there was one year that there was times at college where I'd be filming No ID, I'd leave from No ID, go to work in the West End, and I'd get the night bus home from Charing Cross with my little £50 or £100 or however much I made on that night. I'd take that journey back to Chingford. I'd get home at 4 a.m. and have to be up for 7 a.m. the next morning for college.
Again.
Yeah, there'll be times where we would have like performances. You know how performing arts is, so you'll have like matinees and evening shows. There were times I'd have evening shows. I'd take my clothes from home to the evening shows, finish my evening show, get ready, walk 20 minutes to Cockfosters Station or Oakwood Station, get the Piccadilly line all the way into Trafalgar Square, work, then do the same. You know what I mean? So it was a pattern. So I had that work ethic from a young age. I knew what I wanted to do, but like I couldn't just rely on EMA. So I had to use my street promoting hustle as the second hustle. You know, so that was always like that was just installed in me from a young age as well.
And so when you were like out here, do you know what I mean, like working on sets as runners, as T-boy, like you was doing it for free, right?
Yeah, man. That was all for free. No ID was for free. A lot of stuff
so
I was doing for free, you know, and a lot of people, even now, even the young people, they just think they're gonna get this. Everyone wants things now. You gotta put in some serious groundwork. It took me 5 to 6 years, and there's people it's taken longer. But me personally, it took me 5 to 6 years to even see a penny from this. Yeah. You know, so I've been in and out of jobs.
Would you say that 5 to 6 years where you weren't really seeing peace from it is the things that you got into there? Do you see them as beneficial? The fact that you were working for free on these sets, what are the benefits of it? Do you know what I mean? In hindsight,
my whole benefit was just building my network, man.
Yeah,
you know, and just meeting different people, and I know that cool. First impressions last. You know, absolutely. A lot of my first impressions have lasted me up until this point. You know, I remember. Being 18, 19, running up to Femi Oyeniran, the guy that played Mooney in Killerhood, and just saying, yo, my name's Nathan Hector, I'm an actor. You should cast me in your next film. He didn't know who I was. And he was like, bro, like, he's even told me, bro, when I first met you, you was moving mad. But me moving mad has landed me in 2 films that are going to end up in cinema. So people may think you're crazy, but I always knew the end goal, you know, and I said, first impressions last, you know, so that's always my thing, like, you gotta make an impression and just be yourself, because there's no one else that's like you know?
And I feel like one thing that again strikes out to me is that like you sown a lot of the seeds, or a lot of the relationships you have now, you sown the seeds from early, and that's something that I was even speaking to Nigo, obviously a mutual friend of ours today. He was saying like with Nathan, he sows his seeds early. Do you know what I mean? Like as soon as he meets you, you know that you've established something here with him. It's not just, nice to meet you, I'm Nathan, I'm X, that's it, we go separate ways. It's like, what is it that you do? What is it that I do? How can we, what can I bring to you and what can you bring to me? Even though it's not what we're going to use now, who knows in 5, 6 years down the line, you never know where we're going to each be and how we're going to
that's my whole thing, man. I'm always seeing the bigger picture with whoever I meet, man. Like, that's it. That's just it. Like, with Femi, there was a bigger picture. With Nicky Slim Sing, there was a bigger picture of it. Anyone I've ever met on this journey, there's always a bigger picture. It's not, you just do stuff for me and that's it, or I can just do stuff for you, that's it. Let's come together and make something happen. Who knows when it's going to happen? But God's timing is the best timing. So I've always had that in the back of my head as well. Like, I might meet someone I met Femi in 2008 or 9 and we did not get something done until 2015. So that was like I'd known him 6 years prior to that.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess it's just a waiting game.
It's a waiting game,
and
man.
just make it, as long as something makes sense, you're good to go. Like, I know what I'm bringing to the table. I know what I can bring to the table. So I guess a lot of that stuff, like me knowing what I'm bringing to the table, people can kind of see that and be like, yo, yeah.
I think it is key, even when you said to like make an impression, because with me, a lot of the networks that I have, because I'm someone that I'd say I have like a very healthy network, do you know what I mean? It's something that I'm building as well as I go along.
Yeah.
And with me, a lot of the people who are in and around my network, who are perhaps immediate family or immediate friends that I've grown up with, moving mad.
Sorry, mate.
But yeah, a lot of these people are people who I've had to establish a relationship with over time. Like I've met them, but where I've met them, I've obviously had to sow that seed from the get-go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've had to be memorable. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, the new look advert that I done coming off the back of the end of 2017. For me to get that, it was 2 years before, where I performed at a show. I met someone from a film company.
Yeah.
He didn't shout me for like a year and a half, and it was like, yo, boom, I've got this opportunity.
Yeah.
That what's it called? That initial interaction that I had with him, obviously it lasted for a year, 2 years. Like, do you know what I mean? Your first impressions count.
Yeah.
First impressions last a very long time.
Yeah.
And that's something I feel is very, very key. Like, if you really want to leave your mark on someone, if you really want to make sure that you keep someone around you, make sure that first impression makes sense and make sure it represents who you really are. Because a lot of people probably like go out to network and they try and be someone else. Try and be someone else, and obviously
I don't know how to do that. I just can't. I cannot walk into a place and fake being someone else. Yeah, it's just not my forte, mate. Maybe for someone else that's fine, and that's maybe how they get around. I can't do that. Yeah, me personally, I've just got this thing in my head where I'm just too real. I can't. Absolutely, honestly, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. Like, if someone else wants to go and put on a mask and pretend to be someone else so they can finesse their way into XYZ, good on them, mate. But come on,